What's up, guys? Hey, Jay Foley, how are you? How you doing, brother? How's things? Thanks for stopping in. I appreciate it. Good, good. I just wasn't really planning on coming on tonight, but hopefully a few other guys will show up. I wanted to talk about a post that I saw the other day that I thought was pretty eye-opening. So hopefully we'll get a couple of people and we'll talk about it a little bit. Did you work out today, Jay? Yes. Mr. Thompson, how are you? I didn't know you were from Canada. Long way away. Actually, not too far. I'm in Jersey. Appreciate you stopping in. Jay, what was your workout today? Push pull, okay, good, good. As long as you're getting in some reps, that's all that counts. Mr. Thompson, how about, oh, you're in Alberta, huh? Out west. Oh, all right. Okay, you're all the way out there. So for you guys that are here, let me ask you all a question. Let me get your quick opinion on eating frequency. Like say eating, if somebody tells you to eat one meal a day, is that something that you think is sustainable or you don't think that it's practical? If you don't mind, just let me know in the chat. Just let me know what you think about it. Or do you do it? Or do you do something like that or something close to it? All right, Mr. Dawes, so you're doing it, okay, all right. And do you think it's something that's sustainable? Are you okay with it? Or I mean, is it like a struggle for you? Do you feel like, well, I'm not getting enough food in? And Jay, you don't do it? Jay, do you think that it's something that you wouldn't be able to do? You something that you're not interested in, or? Okay. Yeah, that's kind of like general consensus. So, oh, okay. Good for you. You did 7 days, huh? Wow. Excellent. Excellent. All right, Jay. Okay. Yeah, so I get that from a lot of people too. As a matter of fact, a good friend of mine just told me that the other day, that feels he's not eating enough and he feels weak during the day. But I'm going to touch on that in a minute. Mr. Thompson, how much weight did you lose in that 7 days on the wet fast? Oh, okay. How much weight did you lose? GB, what's up, my man? How are you? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. GB, I caught that video with you and Rip doing that little back and forth there. That was a rough one. That was a rough one. That Mr. T, that's excellent. That's excellent. 15 pounds in that time. Good for you. Excellent. So the other day I was online and I saw a post. Yeah, it looked like you were spent. It looked like you were spent there, Gus. It looked like it was the end of the day. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Yeah. Still tough though. That was a tough one. So yeah, what I wanted to mention was the other day I was online and another YouTuber put up a post that he eats 1 meal a day, and this guy is in incredible shape. He looks like he's, carved out of stone. And a lot of people were supportive. I was going through the comments and stuff, and a lot of people were pretty supportive, but there was a handful of people that just, it couldn't sink in, and it's because we're all accustomed, we're all really indoctrinated to, we have to eat. So some of the comments I saw on there were, do you do 1 meal a day and then snack throughout the day? Another guy said, why are you misleading peeps? Another guy says, this man lies. He only wants to appear that he eats 1 meal a day. Another guy, not practical, not sustainable. Another guy, not realistic, nutrient-wise or health-wise. And then another guy just cut right to the chase. This is absolute bullshit. This is absolute bullshit. So, and it's really not bullshit. It's sustainable especially from a health standpoint, and there's not too many people walking around that can't get all the nutrients that they need in 1 meal a day, to be honest with you. It can really be done. But most of us overestimate how many calories we actually need in a day, right? Everybody thinks that we're indoctrinated, that you have to get up, you have to have breakfast, because breakfast is the most important meal of the day. Exactly, Gus. Exactly. Spot on. You're spot on with that. But because of these food companies and the drug companies today, we're told, no, 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 you have to eat, right? Breakfast is the most important meal of the day. And then if you get hungry, you have to have a mid-morning snack. And then you have to have lunch. Then you have an afternoon snack. You know, then at night you're watching TV. You have to sit and, you know, munch on something watching TV. Spot on, Mr. T. I'm with you on that. I'm glad you said that because I'm right with you on that one. You know, and then one of the best ones I hear is when people go on some type of diet and then they're not losing weight. Well, this shit doesn't work. This diet doesn't work. And then you'll get people telling, well, it's because you're not eating enough. You have to eat more to lose weight. That one, and people buy into that shit. Ray, how are you doing, brother? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. So yeah, how you can tell somebody that, well, you're not losing weight because you're not eating enough. You have to eat more food, put more food in your body in order to lose weight. It doesn't stand. And you know, things are just getting like totally out of control. And to be honest, yesterday I was over in Chelsea. I was in the park. Oh, all right. Ray, did you pull it or something, or was it just because you were working it? Some type of injury, or just you were working it hard? So yeah, I was in Chelsea doing a workout, and I even had to talk about this, but there were two homeless women, one on the other side of the park. Both homeless women were grossly overweight. And I'm thinking, I don't understand how this could happen. You know, homeless people now are overweight. And the one woman, if you bet me, I would have said no. She couldn't even. She was so big that I would say, exactly, Ray, stretch. You got to stretch. I was never a big proponent of stretching, and then the older I get, the more I have to do it. I actually do it before and after. And even on days I don't work out, I try and get a few minutes of stretching in. Yeah, so back to the homeless women. So the one woman was so big, but then eventually she got up and walked away, but she was waddling. And I'm thinking to myself, it's so bad that it's almost like we're eating ourselves to death these days, you know? And not to sound like an asshole, Gus, I'm not making that up. I wish I was, you know, and I'm not looking to make fun, but it's incredible. It's incredible. And there were two women. There were several guys that none of them looked like they were overweight, but these two women were obese. But anyway, you know, we're indoctrinated with this. You have to eat, and you know, even people that work out, right? They tell you, take a pre-workout, take a post-workout. While you're working out, drink some BCAAs. And as soon as you're done working out, you know, run and have your meal because you have the anabolic window. Literally. Yeah, literally, that's what happens. Yeah. You're right. So take your pre-post workout. Have something while you're working out. And then, you know, as soon as you're done, go eat because you have that anabolic window. You have to build muscle. And that's a crock of shit. That's been debunked, you know, time and time again. So, you know, when you see somebody like this guy, you know, he puts a post and says, I only eat one meal a day. And it's like people are just losing their minds. Like they can't fathom the concept of that. Like, how can I not eat from the time I wake up, from the time I open my eyes till the time I go to bed? If I don't do that, I'm going to waste away. I'm going to die. You know, I need nutrients. And first of all, the food that you're putting into your body, there's no nutrients. There's no nutrients. You're just putting empty calories really all day into your body is what you're doing. You know, and I say it time and again, look at how much sugar we eat, right? We're overdosing on sugar. There's no nutrients in sugar. Yep. 100% true, Gus. Absolutely. Absolutely. But yeah, we have this in our mind that we, I have to get my calories in. I have to get, and most people have no clue. They just, they think that they need all of these calories, that they have to be eating all day or they're going to waste away, like I said. And it's just not going to happen. It's not going to, and if that was the case, I mean, just, and again, not to sound like an asshole, but walk into any mall, walk into any store, into any restaurant, into any fast food, walk anywhere and just look around and look at the size of people, So it's, at some point you have to give your body a break. At some point you have to stop. You have to stop eating. But the reason why we don't is because we're addicted to it. And I've said that time and again. They make these foods purposely. They spend millions and millions of dollars to make these foods addictive. And it's all by design. And, you hear all the time, alcohol addiction, drug addiction, gambling, you could name how many addictions. But really, the biggest addiction on earth is food addiction. And that's not an overstatement. I mean, there's so many, it's, I've never met a person that's addicted to tomatoes or broccoli or chicken thighs. Everybody's addicted to Doritos, cookies, cake, candy, soda, chips, and stuff like that. That's where the addiction is. All these, and they're not even, it's not even food. It's not even, it's a food-like substance addiction. So, and to be honest, like, I've coached people and yeah, it is. It's an issue, Mr. T. It's the biggest issue, and they really don't talk about it, because it's the food companies. They control the food and the drug companies. Actually, they control everything. But I've coached many people, and I can get people to exercise really until their arms are going to fall off, and to the point where they want to throw up. They'll do it, but you tell them to stop drinking soda, stop eating donuts, stop eating cookies, and it's not going to happen. It's just not going to happen. They can't, And the addiction is so strong with that, and they have us so addicted to this stuff and so indoctrinated. I mean, look at the prevalence of like bariatric surgery, and I don't know if liposuction is as big as it was, but I remember when liposuction was the big thing. And then I think like the bariatric surgeries took over. But the addiction to the food is so strong, that people will actually go and tell somebody, knock me out, cut me open, cut out a section of my stomach, rearrange my intestines, and sew me back up so I can't eat, rather than fight the addiction. That's how strong the addiction is, right? And if you look at I call it a failure rate, but even with the bariatric, and I know 8 to 10 people, and I know somebody who knew them. I knew them personally, that I worked with, and were acquaintances or friends of mine that had this surgery, lost weight, and gained back every pound and then some, because they're so full of shit. They don't help you break the addiction. They don't teach you how to eat, because people just think, I'm gonna go on eating what I've been eating, what got me to 300 or 400 pounds. Yeah, it's true. It's just that they get so used to it, Mr. T, and it's just so overwhelming at a point, because people don't know what to do. They just don't know what to do about it, And getting back to the surgery, they'll cut you open and they'll do all this. They'll play God, right, and rearrange your innards. But they don't teach you about the food. They don't teach you about the addiction. They don't teach you what to eat, because most doctors don't even know. They really don't. They're so full of shit. You go to any general practitioner, it is. It's crazy, Gus. It really is. It's out of control. And it's so mainstream now. Like somebody says, yeah, I'm going to go get a sleeve. Whatever. I don't even know what a sleeve or a bypass, whatever they do now, lap band, stuff like that. But But they don't teach these people. They cut them open. They do it in that liposuction. Again, like, how strong does the addiction have to be that you'll say to somebody, take this metal rod, put holes in my stomach, jab that rod into my stomach, and vacuum out some blood and fat cells out of my body, rather than me fighting the addiction, and all right, yeah. But Gus, I bet you that the vast majority of people, that they gain the weight back, right? And yeah, they gain it back. I mean, and it's not to say it's 100%. I mean, so I actually know somebody too that had, well, actually a friend of a friend, a relative of a friend that had it and lost a ton of weight, and she turned her life around. She took it upon, not that the doctors or these people, they didn't teach her anything. They just cut her open and did what they had to do. But after the fact, she went and she changed her lifestyle and did the right thing. And to my knowledge, she's 3 or 4 years in and living, a pretty healthy life. But she's the exception, by far, I knew somebody that had it and went and had, was really obese and then had to have some skin removal surgery everywhere. Stomach, legs, inside the arms, the whole thing. And it was brutal. Had the surgery, lost a ton of weight, had the surgery, got the skin removed. However many years later, went back to eating, just as big, as before the surgery. Oh, that's brutal. Yeah, see? Yeah, but again, so, okay. So, and so obviously and again, if somebody's on here that had it, or I guarantee, like Gus, obviously people that have had, everybody knows somebody that has it, or that have had, everybody knows somebody that has had the surgery or something similar, or is fighting obesity, because it's everywhere, right? So, but yeah, that's how strong it is. And this surgery has become so mean, and it's like almost, yeah, and this is a true story too. Oh, Gus, big business. It's tremendous. It's the biggest business in the world. It's the biggest business. It's such a scam because they're selling this food. Everybody's addicted to the food, and then the doctors are all too, ready to just, a doctor, you can't go to a doctor and get nutritional advice. They don't know. They have no idea. Somebody goes into a doctor with high blood sugar, diabetes. These assholes are telling them, stop eating red meat. Don't eat red meat and lose weight, right? And if you're a type 2 diabetic, they do, exactly. Yep. Yeah, and again, going back to the doctors. You go to the doctor, and they're not going to tell you how to lose. They'll keep telling you to lose weight, and as you're walking out the door, they're writing you a prescription for something that's going to jack up your insulin and make it impossible to lose weight, right? So they're telling you, go home and lose weight, don't eat red meat, and make sure you take your medicine. And the medicine is designed to jack up your insulin, to lower the blood sugar. So all around, it's just like a complete scam. It's just such a scam. And it's sad because what people are doing to themselves. But again, it goes back to, they're doing these drastic measures because they're so addicted. Because they're so addicted to this stuff. But, and we're so accustomed to seeing people now that are, the norm is to see bigger people, right? Whatever term you want to use, fatter people, bigger people, it's normal to see that. And when somebody isn't, I can't tell you, the biggest I ever was, I think I mentioned this the last time, the most I ever weighed in my life was in the 220s, 225, maybe high 220s. And then I got down to like 190. And I was getting remarks like, I saw a friend of mine who I hadn't seen for several months, and I dropped this weight. And it was like, so taken aback. And the first words were like, "Are you sick?" You know, now I'm 6 foot tall, and I was 190 pounds. I certainly wasn't emaciated, but you know, it was a difference. You know, if you don't see somebody in a while, you could tell that they've lost, even if they lost like 10 pounds, you'll notice it. You know, if you see them every day, not so much. But when you don't see somebody for a while, but we're just so accustomed to just people being bigger. It's the norm. You know, it's the norm. But it's sad. It's really sad. So anyway, but Mr. T, good on you with the fasting. I'm glad. I'm so glad to hear that, because that's the other thing. You know, so this post that I saw, he eats 1 meal a day. I do 2 meals a day. Normally, actually this week I did a couple of days where I only did the 1 meal. 190 is your goal, SMB? All right. How tall are you, SB? But you know, I guess the way I eat is like sort of instinctual. Like I just go by the way I feel, and my weight has stayed relatively steady for years now, for several years. My weight, you know, you always have that. SMB, I'm 6 foot. How tall are you? Looking to get to 190. But yeah, my weight has stayed, you know, relatively the same. And I just go by the way I feel. I mean, I eat 2 meals a day. I don't eat anything before those meals, between the meals, or after the meals. So whatever time I have that first meal, I try and get the next one in within a few hours. And then that's it for the day. I don't do anything in between. And I get more than enough. If I wasn't eating enough, then my weight would be dropping, right? And I work out regularly. But again, I mentioned the other day, you know, we can't use workouts as a weight loss tool. It's going to help a little bit. You're always going to burn some calories, but I don't know if I mentioned in the last one, but when I did P90X, I used to wear a heart rate, and not that they're that accurate. I would wear a heart rate monitor. And they were pretty intense workouts. They were fast-paced, and most of them, you know, like an hour long. And according to that monitor, you know, on some of the workouts, Gus, how tall are you? Some of the workouts, it would say that I burned like 600 calories. Now, and my heart rate was elevated for 45 minutes to an hour. You know, and you go to any gym and you see a guy, just say like a guy lifting weights. This is what you see. They'll do a set and then they sit down in the phone, or, you know, your heart rate isn't, for most people. There are some people. SB, yeah, I've done, yeah. As a matter of fact, this week, what I do? Like a day, I think I went like, I did a 39 hour fast. I was just feeling bloated one day, and I said, you know what, I'm not going to eat, and I wound up having to. I ate whatever night it was, and then I went straight through to the next day. I didn't eat anything, and then the next morning I ate. Gosh, you work. Okay, good. What, 2:30? What is that? Your work schedule? That you getting up that early? But yeah, this week I did like a day and a half just to give myself a break, and I felt fine. See, the other thing too is if you eat a high carbohydrate diet. All right, well, I'll give you the 5'9". We'll go 5'9". It's official. Gain Brothers for everybody is officially 5'9". But if you eat a all right, well, we'll slant the line down a little, guys. We'll slant the line down a little for you. We'll make sure you hit that 5'9". But if you're trying to fast and you're eating a high carb diet, You know, don't forget the carbs are always going to give you the sugar spike and then the crash, and that makes you hungry. So that makes it hard to go longer without food, because you're having those constant sugar spikes. And that's why I rail against like artificial sweeteners and all, and people say no, but I've seen it. You know, these things like the diet soda. Well, you know, I didn't eat anything and I'm drinking diet soda. So if your blood sugar is here and you drink a diet soda with an artificial sweetener, and that stuff drops your blood sugar, it's going to make you hungry. Oh, okay. That's brutal. That's 2:30. Getting up at 2:30. That's a crazy schedule. I worked midnights for a lot of years, but I used to do like midnight to 8, and then I used to do 9:30 p.m. till 6 a.m. I used to work 8 at night till 4 in the morning. So I was all over the place, but that's, yeah, 2:30, that's a rough one. Yeah, but getting back to the sweeteners, I don't think they're a good idea, because even if you're trying to go without eating, you know, if that's pushing your blood sugar down, you're not going to have the blood sugar. If you don't eat, you're not going to have a blood sugar spike. But if you're eating these sweeteners, if you're drinking the sweeteners, they'll push your blood sugar down, and that's going to make you feel hungry, and then you're going to want to eat. So if you're on a relatively low carb diet and you're not having constant fluctuations in your blood sugar, it's going to make it a little easier to go. So, but anyway, yeah. So I just wanted to talk about that. You know, I thought it was how that handful of guys just lost their mind when they saw one meal a day, and they can't wrap their head around the fact that, you know, that people can eat like that. And it's possible. It really is. And especially, you know, you look at most women. You know, I was having a conversation about these things like MyFitnessPal. Yeah. All that guy does is pull-ups. He doesn't even have a job. He hangs out in the park all day and does pull-ups. He doesn't even have a job, that guy. You made me lose my train of thought. Yeah, so anyway, people just don't get it that you can eat. Oh, I was talking about the mainstream, like the MyFitnessPal type things. So if you go in there and you say, well, how much should I eat? And you're setting your calories and this and that. If you have a 300-pound person and they go in and it says, how much do you weigh? How tall are you? That's going to tell that 300-pound person that they need 3,000 calories a day to sustain, right? And that's not the way. You have to put it. If you're 300 pounds and you should be 170, you want to put into that app, I'm 170 pounds, because that's what you should be eating. That's the level you should be eating. And those things are not accurate. They'll give you a general idea. I used to use it I would set my calorie total and then the breakdown of my macros. And when I was trying to lose weight, I used to set it for 50, 30, 20, 50% protein, 30% carbs, and 20% fat. And, but to be honest with you, when I did that's when I was doing P90X, and I did lose a ton of weight doing that, but I was eating roughly 2,000, sometimes a little, like between 1,900 and 2,000 calories, which isn't a lot. But I was breaking that up to like 4 to 5 meals a day, from early morning until night. And that makes you catabolic, because again, you're going like this. You're having an insulin spike coming down. A couple of hours later, you're eating again another insulin spike. And it makes it so hard for you to break down body fat. So your body's gonna go after the lean tissue. And I actually did, I lost the weight, and I got, I was looking better than I was looking in a long time, but I was a lot weaker, much weaker than I was. I lost strength because I was catabolic the way I was eating. Now, if I took that 2,000, let's say 2,000 calories or 1,900, if I took that and ate it in either one meal or just 2 meals in a close eating window, I would have had probably a totally different result. You know, and that's what I tell people now when they're trying to lose weight. If you're going to eat, you never want to be eating unless your goal is to gain weight. If your goal is to get heavy and put weight on, then by all means eat all throughout the day. The minute you wake up, start eating, and until you go to sleep. Right? Case in point, because look at how many people we have that are obese, and that's the eating pattern that we have. Right? The average person eats for roughly 15 hours a day. And when I say eat, I don't mean to sit down at a table and have a meal. You're just grabbing a donut here, you're having a candy bar here, then you're having lunch, and then you're going home and having dinner. Then you're watching TV and you have the ice cream, the tub of ice cream. So, and it doesn't stop, right? So, but if you're looking to lose weight, you want to, and I did a video about this, about the eating frequency. You want to compress that window. You'll have, let's say you have a pizza. It's usually cut in 8 slices, right? If I get up in the morning and have a slice of pizza, it is a big task, Gus, for people. It is, and that's why I tell you have to chip away at it. You have to do a little bit at a time, you know, because it's an addiction. You can't tell an alcoholic, tomorrow morning stop drinking. You can't tell a smoker, tomorrow morning stop smoking. You can't tell a drug addict, you're done right now. Okay, it has to be a weaning, and it's the same thing with the food. There's a weaning process. You have to do it piecemeal. You have to pick and choose your battles. And it's, you know, but again, that seems like so daunting to most people. That's why they're going and having surgeries, because they just feel that they can't do it. And for a lot of people, it's near impossible. But anyway, getting back to the eating frequency. So if I have that pizza and I have a slice in the morning, 2 hours later, another slice, right? All throughout the day, every couple hours have a slice. Or if early in the morning I sit down and eat that whole pizza, there'll probably be a whole different outcome, right? Because it's not just the amount of calories that, obviously calories count, but it's the way your body handles them, right? And how often are you doing it? And it's, in addition to the calories, yeah, again, Gus, it's, you know, you have to have that calorie deficit to lose weight, right? You have to have the calorie deficit. But there's also the way you do it. Because like I said, I dropped my calories drastically, and I broke up my meals to, you know, 4 or 5, whatever it was, meals a day. And I did drop weight. But I no doubt lost muscle, because I know I was much weaker. Because I did that program for 90 days, for 3 months. And I was much weaker, you know, and you know that program was a lot of push-ups, pull-ups. Any weight work was just like dumbbells, you know, like lighter dumbbells and stuff. But when I got done and I got back on, you know, tried to throw some weight, nowhere near, and that was just like, you know, 3 months of eating like that. But yeah, it's eating frequency has a lot to do with it. You know, and the other thing too is, you know, a lot of people are interested in, you know, well, what do you eat? You know what? You know, you and I can sit down, let's say 3 months, for the next 3 months, and we could eat the exact same thing at the exact same time, every single day, for those 3 months, right? I could gain 10 pounds, and you could lose 5 pounds. Everybody's physiology is different. Everybody metabolizes food differently. Everybody reacts to different foods. You know, I can't eat this, it gives me a stomach. Well, don't eat it, but people force it. They'll force it, right? I used to live on Nexium, right? When I used to drink and go have my chicken wings and drink like a goon, right? And I was tearing my stomach up. Rather than stop putting the shit in, I would just take a pill, just to put a Band-Aid on the symptoms. because I didn't want to give the other stuff up. And, you know, but I started paying the price for it, and that's when I realized that, you know, I had to turn things around. So, you know, and the other thing too is a lot of people equate being thin with being healthy. And I have a friend of mine who swears by, you know, he's a good friend of mine, but sometimes I want to choke him. Just because somebody looks like a normal weight or that they don't look obese, that doesn't mean that they're healthy, because you don't know what's going on. And on the flip side, not everybody being a little overweight doesn't mean unhealthy, you know, because there's different types of fat in the body, right? You have like like love handles, a little bit around the belly that you could grab, you know, maybe like, you know, women with the big ass or something like that. That's not necessarily unhealthy or bad. The body can handle a little bit of that fat, you know, on your body. And you can be perfectly healthy. And there are people walking around that you would say, wow, that, you know, and dangerous. I'm going to get to that in 1 second, Mr. T. That's my next topic. So yeah, for as many people that are walking around overweight and obese, and a lot of them are unhealthy, the majority are, but there's a certain percentage that aren't. Even with that, you know, little pouch or, you know, the love handles, like I said. Now, to Mr. T's point, if you've heard the term thin on the outside and fat on the inside, that's where you have the visceral fat, and that's the fat that is bad. That's covering your organs, right? And a lot of times you see like a guy that's like a bad drunk, like an alcoholic, and they'll be thin all over, and their belly might be, they'll have that big belly going. It's because that visceral fat is all around your organs, right? And it's getting bigger and bigger, and it's actually pushing up against the abdominal wall. David, it's a matter of preference. It's a matter of preference. It's how you feel. You know, with the calisthenics, I kind of break it up. I go, you know, a little of this one day, but I'll go to the gym and I normally do a full body routine at the gym. Again, you know, I don't go crazy, you know, moderate weights and reps and sets and like that. But with the calisthenics, I change up the exercises, and I do kind of do, you know, I'll split it up a lot, you know. So, and it's a matter of preference. How much time do you have? You know, you say every day, are you doing it every day? You're doing it 5, 6, 7 days a week? If you have that luxury and you could do that many days a week, then maybe do split it up, you know. But no problem, Dave. So yeah, we were talking about the visceral fat, which is dangerous fat. It's dangerous. It's choking out your organs. Now, the third type that's extremely dangerous is the fat on your liver. And you can't see that, right? If you're a relatively normal weight and you have a fatty liver, you know, you're destroying your liver at that point. You know, and it's not caused by red meat, you know what I mean? And these idiots will tell you, stop eating red meat and this and that. It's not. Fatty liver was something that was strictly an alcoholic. Like I've said before, if you're a 60-year-old alcoholic, you're almost guaranteed to have a fatty liver, because alcohol is metabolized probably 99% in the liver, right? And it's a poison. When alcohol goes into your body kind of hits the alarm, right? Hey, we got poison. The first thing it does, it drops everything else. Let's get rid of this shit. Let's get rid of this poison, right? And that fat will accumulate on your liver over time. But the second thing that's metabolized by the liver is fructose, right? And that's sugar, like table sugar. If you have white sugar, that's part glucose and part fructose. The glucose can be used by other cells in your body. Fructose can't. It's all handled by the liver. So all these juices, you know, and all the candies and all, they have this high fructose corn syrup. That's why now you have little kids with fatty liver, because the fructose and alcohol are metabolized almost exactly the same way in the body, right? So fructose, sugar, is like a kid's alcohol. You know, that's why you have these little kids running around, and it's so dangerous. You're destroying your liver, you know. And the ironic part is, I was training a girl not too long ago, and she was big. And when I first met her, I was going over her diet. And the first thing I asked, you know, I asked about the diet and stuff, and I asked, do you have any issues with blood sugar and yada yada? Are you diabetic? So she said, no, everything's good, but you know, and I go to a nutritionist, and I take supplements for my liver to clean my liver out. So she goes into the cabinet, she pulls out a tub of some kind of shit, and it was, when I read the label, it was shit. Second ingredient on it, and it was literally called liver cleanse, live-R-cleanse, liver cleanse. That was the name of this shit that this guy sold to me. Second ingredient was sugar. So this useless son of a bitch was selling this girl for $70 some type of powder to drink, telling her it's going to cleanse her liver, when it's loaded with the exact thing that's rotting out her liver. It's crazy. It's insanity. It's just insanity. So anyway, but all right, guys. Anybody have any questions? George, I missed you. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in. S&B, you're exactly right. Soda is poison. Soda is poison. But you know what happened? So when soda sales started going down, the soda companies got smart, and they bought up the energy drinks. They bought, I think it was Coke that bought Monster, and it's the same shit. It's just soda with a little more caffeine in it. You know, it's just like double dose of caffeine. So they're not losing out. They're not losing out. They're still going to make their money. Mr. T, no, I do that part-time. Been doing it for a while, off and on. I'm actually retired. I retired, sorry about that. I retired in 2018, and now I do the training part-time, a few days a week. But David, if you're still there, so if you're working out 6 days a week, yeah, why not? Why not do a split? You know, give it a shot. You know, if you're working out that many days a week, but again, if you're only working out, you know, 3 or 4 days, 3 days, then I would definitely do like a full body. But just want to make sure I didn't miss anybody. All right, guys. Anybody have SMB or Sean G? Yeah, I think most of you guys are. Sean's a good guy. I mentioned before the other time, and it was just like it was a freak meeting that I had with him that day in the park. You know, I was watching his videos for quite a while. I loved a lot of those interviews that he did, and that's how I came upon him. And then the one day I just happened to stop in this park, and there he is with his son. You know, they were working out. They were doing some pull-ups and all. And I'm hoping to get together with him now. You know, now that the weather's clearing up here in Jersey and all. So. All right, guys. Anybody have anything else? If not, I think I'm going to wrap it up. This was sort of like an impromptu thing. I wasn't even expecting to come on, but again, I always appreciate you guys, and I appreciate everybody that popped in today. Same, and everybody, if you haven't already, go Go subscribe to Game Brothers, Training Day Network. S&B, am I a coffee drinker? Here you go. All right, guys, take care of yourself, man. I don't know if you got to get up at 2:30 tonight, but if you do, you better get some rest. And guys, if you don't know who Game Brothers is, he's that guy. He's about 5'9". Go check him out. Thanks, Mr. T. I'm going to be posting another workout. Something I did yesterday. I was actually over in Manhattan, and I went to Chelsea Park. Did something a little different over there. Jake, when I see the word meal replacement, I don't like it. Anything, whether I don't want to get into a whole vegan discussion or, but because I think anything that if somebody's healthy with it, if they're living a healthy life, then eat it. But when I see the word meal replacement, whether it's plant-based or anything, I would never advocate it. I don't believe in it because I think that people should learn how to eat. I don't think that they should be having meal replacements. I think they should learn to eat whole food, whether it's just plant-based whole food or if you want to eat meat, you want to eat, whatever it is. People should know what to eat and drink. This bullshit, it doesn't teach you anything. And you're not going to live the rest of your life on meal replacements, right? You're not going to live the rest of your life on shakes. Shakes have their place as a supplement, to supplement what you're already eating, but not to replace what you eat, if that makes sense. So that's my opinion on that. Anybody else with anything? S&B, are you out on the left coast? I don't know if I asked you that. I don't remember. Are you out there? Oh, man. Okay. All right. You're all the way out there. Okay. S&B, what do? Are you a calisthenics guy? Are you a weight guy? Or are you working out or what? Okay, I'm with you on that, yeah. $740, Dublin, Ireland. Okay. Hey, how you guys doing? Are you still on lockdown? I know you guys were having a hard time. I appreciate you being here, Jody. But are you guys up and running, or they still have you locked down over there? S&B, what do you work out? How often are you working out? AJ, what's up, brother? Thanks for popping in. I appreciate it. Hope all is well with you. Jody, back to normal. Good. Good. I'm glad to hear that. Thanks again for being here. I appreciate it. And I appreciate you watching the videos and all and commenting. Oh, all right, S&B, you're putting the time in. Good for you. Always glad to hear that. Gym's up and running, as long as the pubs are up. Good, Jody. I'm glad things get back to normal. I don't want to get on a roll about that whole scam, but I have my opinions on it, you know. AJ, I hope all is well with you. Thanks for popping in. AJ, you working out on lunch? Okay. That's good. As long as you get it in. As long as you're getting it in, that's what counts. Good for you. Guys, I'm sorry for this, but I don't know how to get this. The chat keeps disappearing on there. I gotta bring it back up. I don't know if it's supposed to do that or there's a setting to keep it up there. All right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. For those of you that are still there, thanks for hanging in with me, and for everybody else that popped in, I do appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good week. If you have any questions, always pop them down below. Oh, you got a portable. Wow. Okay. Cool. All right, AJ, you're getting the time. You're putting the time in. Yeah. We don't need the gym, AJ. We don't need the gym. I still go to the gym. But what I'm saying is, it's not that excuse. You know, well, I can't go to the gym. That's you don't need a gym. You don't. So. All right, guys. Again, I always appreciate you guys. Always feel free to reach out if you got a question, something maybe I could help you with. I always put my email in the description. Yes, SMB, hopefully, I'm going to pop in hopefully in the next few days. Again, I appreciate you being here. So everybody go have a good week. Get your reps in. Eat right. Lay off the sugar. Moderate the booze. Keep yourself healthy. All right, guys, have a good night.